Jumbo, and welcome to African Lion Safari. Mind drinking, smoking, or vaping while on the bus. As well, I ask you please remain seated towards the just a joke. This is our friendly reminder that all of our animals are wild, so don't let their gentle looks fool you. The park is also comprised of over 700. The international reputation is earned for our XC, the llama, and the Watusi cattle, and run at speeds of 65 kilometers per hour. With danger. Even though they don't have a hump. They have been tired, they tend to lie down and refuse to get up, and when they're angry, they tend to spit. Eastern Africa, more than 6,000 years ago, making them one of the oldest breeds of cattle in the world. Medium-sized cows with the large impressive horns have the most dramatic 1001. Over 40 cheetah cubs have been born here at the park, and we have received the Baines Trophy, the highest award for Canada's accredited zoos and aquarium. Trade is going to be wide open plains of flat scrublands with few trees. Lions are also the only members of the large cat family that live in family units, and they live in prides of 5 to 20 individuals, and they consist of males and females with cubs of various ages. Monkey Jungle bypass road, and it's been designed for people.
Oh, the monkey is in the...
By screeching, and older baboons are afraid or at least very respectful of their leader. Baboons also mostly eat leaves, grasses, fallen fruit, and succulent roots, and often you'll find them eating insects, small birds, and even rodents. They also have large cheek pouches on the sides of their faces, which allows them to carry food for later. Not to open their windows, because as playful and friendly as our baboons may seem, they do have extremely sharp teeth, and they are not afraid to use them. They are mostly white to help reflect the heat of the sun. In their herds because of their obnoxious behavior. They are the 6th largest of Africa's 71 antelope species. They are very excellent sure-footed climbers and jumpers, and they are able to clear obstacles of over 2 meters tall. Here you see the females with their babies, and later we're going to see the males. But when they are of full age, they can reach a height of toes in the neck alone. And it's interesting to note that they have the same number of vertebrae in their neck as a mouse. And if you look at a giraffe walk, it's called a gait and held to stay step by their big, bold black stripes to completely encircle their bodies and legs, and they are broad at the haunches and rump. And they must be forever vigilant, or they'll fall prey to their deadliest enemy, the hyena and lion. And their preferred habitat is wide open plains, lightly. But each year, they'll get larger sets of antlers.
Nana.
Their antlers will also be covered in a thin velvety skin, which provides the antlers with blood and nutrients and allows them to grow large. And approaching on your left-hand side, you'll see the prairie bison. You'll also be able to see the dominant male of the herd, and he's going to be the very large one, and his name is Lucas. People often confuse bison and buffalo from each other, but there are clear differences between the two. Buffaloes are found in Africa and Asia, and they don't have a hump on their back. They have large heads with large horns. And bisons are found in North America and Europe, and the dirt will act as a protectant against biting ticks, fleas, and mosquitoes.
Hi.
They used to also be the largest members of the deer family, second only to the moose, and they can reach a height of 2 meters tall and weigh in at 909 pounds. The North American elephant.
Thank you. kanunal. Hi!
Naman pala siya dito. Tagduwa lang ito kay para lugar ta.
Turtles are very common freshwater species that live in the water hunting.
Wala si. Tap.
Building behind the elephants is our state-of-the-art elephant facility. The 18,000 square foot facility features a lab and research center from naval science. There's a register you may have noticed.
Gigang siya. Sa Madeira. Ang Madeira ng taon. Saksihan mo dahil. Hi mga kanunal, grabe kayo siya gatsar.
Good evening and welcome to the African Queen Boat Cruise. My name is Erica. And there's also a muskrat on their island as well, in case you're wondering what that small brown animal is. Ring-tailed lemurs are found only on the island of Madagascar. On this next island just ahead of us, we have two different types of spider monkeys. Speed and agility, while in search of their diet of fruit and leaves. In the wild, they can be found throughout Mexico, Panama, and Ecuador. These animals often hang upside down by their feet in order to feed on their diet of fruit, seeds, leaves, and nectar. In the wild, they live in groups of 5 to 16 individuals, and they can be very territorial. These lemurs are also noted for their loud alarm calls. So a reminder, guys, to please watch your step as you exit the boat.
To water.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Parrot Paradise. How's everyone feeling this afternoon?
Great!
Oh man, I don't think the birds are gonna come out for that. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I continue to work we do year round, and Levi is one of our ambassadors for the species here at African Lion Safari. And we've actually partnered with the World Parrot Trust, who there can carry them up to speeds of 50 to 60 kilometers per hour. That tail in the back is used to help steer while they're out there flying around, and they can fan it out when they're ready to make a nice, soft, safe landing. That job for us today. Why don't we give them a hand? Drum roll, please. Here they come. All right, guys. Does anyone want to guess what these birds are? Shout it out. I can't hear you. That's right. They are chickens.
Now, what makes these guys so valuable? Well, it actually has to do with their impact in the poultry industry. Number us by 3 to 1. But I do think as they've headed on out today, that they've done an excellent job. Let's give them a big round of applause. All right, this is the common crow species that you might see out in Africa, although they do look a lot like the American crow that we see around here. The obvious difference being that white band around his neck and around his chest. Now, unfortunately, no matter where crows come from, they do tend to have a pretty poor reputation. We often see them feeding on garbage and roadkill on the side of the road, and we tend to think of them as maybe a little bit gross and dirty. However, crows are actually doing quite a big favor to you and I. They're helping to clean up harmful germs and bacteria that may be found in our environment, making it a little bit safer for all of us. Now here at African Lion Safari, we have taken some is, if a crow can recycle, so can you. Give it up for Minnie Jo, you did an excellent job.
I'd like to introduce you all to Papaya, and Papaya here is a Swainson's or chestnut mammal toucan. Now this happens to be the second largest species of toucan in the world after the Toko toucan. And I think everyone here will agree with me when I say Papaya's most striking feature is that beautiful long bill of hers there. Now this bill is 4 times the size of her skull and equal to the entire length of her body. So it certainly seems like it'd be a heavy thing to carry around with you all day, but it is deceivingly light. If you were to primary diet is fruit, so this bill also comes in handy when reaching up, down, all around, along. On that note, I'd like to introduce you all to FIFA here. FIFA is an 8-year-old green-winged macaw, and she actually hatched right here at African Lion Safari 8 years ago. Even more interesting than that, though, her mother did as well, way back in the early 80s. And it's these decades of experience that are up there, all the way to that yellow target dish in the back there, if you can see it. Now she does have to take a couple moments to find her bearings. It is the first couple flaps that take up the most amount of energy for the birds. And now there's a pretty dead wind today, so she's got no help, but there she goes. And you can see her tail flare out there for a perfect landing. Let's give it up for FIFA. Right here we have a chatty little fellow. This is Wasabi. He's a yellow-fronted Amazon. And I'm willing to bet he has a couple things to say to everyone today.
Well, usually likes to start things off by greeting everyone. Pretty straightforward hellos. Well, he too likes to introduce himself, so go ahead and tell everyone what your name is. Excited introduction of Wasabi. He doesn't stop there though, always follows that up with a polite question. Cheerful, how are you to add to that? I see some smiles out there. Now, you can't tell by looking at him, but Wasabi is a male yellow-fronted Amazon. That's because with the males and females of most parent species, they look exactly the same. The only true way to tell them apart is through DNA testing. But at the end of the day, it didn't really matter whether Wasabi was a male or a female. We did know that he was one thing for certain, and that's just a great big flirt. Every time he sees any Amazon, he loves to blow them kisses. Couple cute kisses from Wasabi. Now he is quite playful. This is a common characteristic within the parrot family, but this happens to be his favorite game that he loves to play with his strangers. He loves to be tickled. And what do we do when we get tickled? We laugh, right? Wasabi, is that funny when we tickle you? Couple chuckles from our comedian. Now parrots are pretty famous for their abilities to whistle and sing, so we'll see if it's enough to get him singing today. A very patriotic but pretty off-key national anthem. Question, who here is celebrating their birthday in the next year? Everyone? All right, well, whenever your special day may be, but especially if it's today, this song's for you.
I can hear it.
He works right here at African Lion Safari. He's done a great job. Let's hear it for Wasabi today. couple buys and a foot wave, a little wave goodbye. Thank you so much for joining us here at Parrot Paradise. Enjoy the rest of your evening at African Lion Safari. Thank you.
Alexandria! Hi!